You all to another Kali Tutors tutorial session. In this tutorial session, we'll be focusing on ENN1504 assignment 1, question number 2. Question number 2 focuses on meeting minutes. Okay, so let us begin with the tutorial session. If this is your first time coming across the term meeting minutes or minutes of a meeting, what we are referring to are basically notes that are recorded during a meeting. The notes must highlight key issues that were discussed, motions proposed or voted on, and the activities to be undertaken. Meeting minutes should provide a clear record of decisions made as to who has been delegated what and when they are expected to complete their task. Okay? So let us look at some of the key aspects of meeting minutes. Okay. So when compiling your meeting minutes, you need to include all the information that is considered to be important. You need to include the names of the proposers, the seconders of the proposers, and you should mention the names of the people who contributed to the debate. You need to point out the resolutions they reached after all the deliberations and how they reached the resolutions, okay? And when you are writing your meeting minutes, you should always write in past tense and in reported speech, okay? So I think this is all the theory that we need for now. Let us go straight into question number 2 from assignment 1 for 2023, okay? I expect that everyone has accessed the tutorial letter and you have read the background information and you've also read the questions, okay? So all you need from me is just clarity, okay? So the instructions are as follows. The participants would like to address a range of issues about procurement issues, including the waiting period for the items bought and the challenges caused by the delay, numerous unanswered calls, and an alternative solutions to the problem. At this point, the meeting is discussing agenda item 3.1, procurement of Wi-Fi routers. Write minutes of the meeting for agenda item 3.1. This means that the complete format for minutes is not required. So after reading these instructions, it is clear that we are only focusing on 3.1. So what's the way forward? Let us read the transcript and then try to write meeting minutes. Okay. Those of you who are not really familiar with a formal meeting, okay, so this is what happens. A meeting has an agenda has items from 1 maybe to 6, and they will discuss item 1, item 2, item 3, and so on. In this case, what they are saying in the instructions is that they are now at item number 3. And the transcript, which I am going to read now, is the discussion that actually took place under item number 3. So this is our focus. We don't have to worry about item 2. We don't have to worry about item 1. We're only focusing on item 3.1. And then we're going to write that portion of the meeting minutes that's related to item 3.1. And that's it. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is to just read what Dr. Cole has said, and then after reading this, I'll try to summarize it in a way that will make you understand what is expected from you, okay? So let me just read what Dr. Cole has said. It reads as follows. Colleagues, ever since the outbreak of COVID-19, most of the tertiary institutions, including ours, have opted for online teaching and learning system. For the teaching and learning process to succeed and be sustainable, the Wi-Fi system is essential to provide institutions with the internet. Our institution is in the process of procuring a Wi-Fi system to enable easy access to the internet for employees and students. Let me allow Mr. Dix, our procurement manager, to briefly explain what this worldwide phenomenon that provides us with internet access is, how it works, and the challenges experienced to procure the Wi-Fi router. Now that we have read what Dr. Cole had said, it is important that we extract important information from his statement. We are only focusing on information that adds value to the topic of discussion, okay? So I'll show you in the next slide how you could have approached this one. This is what is expected from you. You will start on a blank page. You'll write question number 2. Underneath that, you'll write 3.1, procurement of Wi-Fi routers. Okay, so we're only focusing on item number 3.1. Then underneath that, that's where you're gonna summarize what people have said. Okay, so to summarize what took place with regards to the first statement by Dr. Cole, this is what you could have done. Okay, so let me read this. This is my response, okay? This is my paragraph 1. The chairperson, Dr. Cole, tabled the matter of procurement of Wi-Fi routers. He reported that the institution was in a process of procuring a Wi-Fi system. Dr. Cole invited Mr. Dix, the procurement manager, to describe challenges encountered when procuring the Wi-Fi system. Okay, so this is how you summarize what a person had said. If you look at how I wrote this here, everything is in past tense, okay? You write it in reported speech. Okay, so let us compare these two, the original quote or the original statement with what we wrote in the minutes, okay? So let's move to the next slide. I have included this slide to compare the original statement by Dr. Cole and what we wrote in the meeting minutes, okay? If you look at the information in red, this information here was not included in the meeting minutes. We only took the information that I've written in green, okay? For example, the statement starts like this: colleagues, ever since the outbreak of COVID-19, most of the tertiary institutions, including ours, have opted for online teaching and learning system. This information is not really adding value when discussing procurement of Wi-Fi routers. So we are not going to include this. Here, we are telling the people that, okay, the chairperson is the one who introduced the topic or who tabled the matter of procurement of Wi-Fi, okay? We don't have to say he mentioned other institutions and that other institutions are actually moving to online teaching and learning. No, that information is irrelevant at this point. So, and then what else did we look, what else did we exclude? I mean, for the teaching and learning process to succeed and be sustainable, the Wi-Fi system is essential to provide institutions with the internet. That information at this point is not really important, okay? But this is important. Our institution is in the process of procuring a Wi-Fi system to enable easy access to the internet for employees and students. That information is important. That is why we included that information here, okay? So, and how did I include the information here? So this one in green, I just wrote, he reported that the institution was in the process of procuring a Wi-Fi system. You see? You can also talk about students and employees in your response. That's okay, but this basically gives you all the information that you need, okay? So we know that if you're in an institution, it's most likely that you're procuring Wi-Fi for your students and your staff members, okay? So that's basically how you analyze or how you summarize information that is presented in a transcript into your meeting minutes, okay? So let us look at the next person who discussed something, okay, during the meeting. Let's move to the next slide. Okay, so this is Mr. Dix's response, okay?